Welcome to ESPN College Football, our Thursday night Sun Belt Conference matchup from 3,333 feet elevation in Boone, North Carolina, Kid Brewer Stadium. Georgia Southern taking on Appalachian State. Freedom the Eagle is here tonight. The Georgia Southern mascot should be a good one, along with MEAC Hall of Famer Jay Walker. I'm Mark Neely. Jay, these two schools have each been FBS for less than 5 years, but there is still a lot of history between these two.
Yeah, and that's why when you have rivalry football games, throw the records out the window. These were two powerhouse programs on the FCS or 1AA level. Proud programs. They've made the acquisition up to FBS football. Things have been going very well for Appalachian State lately, but for Georgia Southern, it's a whole different story.
Yeah, one program right now very stable, one not so. But when you look at Taylor Lamb, the quarterback for Appalachian State, he really encompasses the stability in this program.
He's the steadying force that you have to have in today's college football world to ensure you're going to have a successful offensive unit. The son of a college football coach, he has a very high football IQ. He's a very underrated rusher, and also, you see the numbers with the 19 touchdowns. He's also the all-time leading touchdown passer in Sun Belt history. Taylor Lamb knows how to distribute the ball to his playmakers all over the field.
Lamb and App State trying to bounce back from their first conference loss last week. Georgia Southern looking for their first win and conference win. And the instability, we saw a couple of years ago Georgia Southern under Willie Fritz. They were solid. He left to go to Tulane. Tyson Summers was the head coach to begin this year. He was fired, and now interim head coach Chris Lunsford has taken over. They just need to find some stability.
Just like we talk about stability at the quarterback position for Appalachian State, well, Georgia Southern needs it at the coaching position. Willie Fritz had some success, but overall, you talk about a senior class that has had 5 different coaches.
There's Scott Satterfield in his 5th season. Of course, played quarterback here at Appalachian State back in the early to mid-90s. And they're trying to become bowl eligible for the 3rd consecutive year at the FBS level with a win tonight. Well, there was fog here last night at this time. That's not actual fog. That's just the smoke from the pyrotechnics from the introduction of the team. So we hope that will dissipate at some point. Here's Miles Campbell from a couple yards deep, bringing this out for Georgia Southern. Angles and gets upended and flipped down at the 13-yard line. Georgia Southern, by the way, did win the toss and elect to receive, and they're not going to have very good starting field position for that triple option offense.
Miles Campbell on the return from the Eagles.
There's a starting quarterback, Shai Wirtz, a redshirt freshman.
He'll be a good one. Just a freshman. He has the ability to be explosive, very athletic, but he's just a freshman, and defenses throw a lot of different looks at him to try and make him confused. He has to settle down and slow the game down a little bit in the coach's eyes.
Georgia Southern coming off a heartbreaking loss last week at home to Georgia State. Lost 21-17, a game they had the lead, but had a couple of costly fourth-quarter turnovers. Wound up losing the football game. Under center Wirtz, L.A. Ramsby, part of that triple option. He gets the handoff, and Ramsby going straight ahead. We'll pick up about 2. He is stopped by Caleb Fuller, the defensive end, one of the defensive ends in that 3-4 defensive line for App State.
And disappointing start. When a team has 3 defensive linemen, you have to be able to get to that second level running the football. If you can't do a dive up the middle for more than 2 yards, it's going to be a long night. And we know that Georgia Southern not only wants to run the football, they have to run the football to have a chance.
So back in that more traditional triple option look, here's the handoff, and again straight ahead. Once again up about the 19-yard line. T. Sims this time bringing down L.A. Ramsby.
Good look there. L.A. Ramsby came to Georgia Southern as a quarterback out of high school in Ohio. Quickly made the transition to running back and has been very effective ball carrier throughout his career. He, along with Matt Breida, they were the 1-2 punch for success at Georgia Southern.
Matt Breida now in the NFL with the San Francisco 49ers. Ramsby, a 5th-year senior who's scheduled to graduate in December. Wirtz going to throw, goes far side, and that catch by Harris, and he stumbles forward and has a first down all the way up near the 30. That's Malik Henry with the catch and a gain of 11.
And he's a guy they want to stretch the field with him. He's a guy that's the fastest wide receiver that they have. Finds a crease on the wide receiver bubble screen. Nice block outside by Miles Campbell. And the Eagles pick up a first down throwing the football.
Wesley Fields now in as the back. Makes the handoff to him. Wirtz keeps, and then gets spun down for a gain of about 4 up to the 35 by Anthony Forey, inside linebacker number 44, making his 61st tackle of the year. Number 2 in the ledger for App State tackles. Shai Werts, the starting quarterback. We would not be surprised, Jay, at some point to see Cato Brown, who was the number 2 quarterback for Georgia Southern. But Werts, a nice game last week against Georgia State, went 22 of 28 through the air. Had a touchdown pass and also a rushing touchdown. Looks to throw here. It thinks better of it and tries to run, but he's going to be tackled for a loss by Caleb Fuller, the senior defensive end.
And that's the confusing look right there. They confused Shai Werts on a simple wide receiver screen. He saw somebody in the passing lane, said, nope, let me try and get something out of nothing. Instead, he picks up some negative yardage. And that's one of those situations where he has to know ahead of time that that's not going to be a clean throw to the wide receiver outside. Get your offense in another play.
Georgia Southern converted on a 3rd and 5 earlier on the drive, but now a 3rd down and 8. Werts time to throw, now rolling out. Here comes the linebacker chasing him. And Shamar Jean Charles. Actually, Austin Exford making the tackle, and that's a loss of 4, and it's 4th down.
And what a fantastic open field tackle by Austin Exford. You had Shai Werts on the outside. Exford, number 9, has to make that tackle with a lot of room around. Not an easy play. Able to bring down the elusive quarterback behind the line of scrimmage.
Matt Flynn on to punt, averaging 40 per punt this year. Booted a career-high 61-yarder earlier this season as well. Duck calling for the fair catch. And Clifton Duck makes the fair catch after the 43-yard punt with no return. And App State coming out when we come back.
ESPN Thursday Night College Football. Brought to you by Sam Adams. Fill your glass. And Insurance. Auto and home insurance for the modern world.
Back here in Boone, North Carolina, Appalachian State takes over offensively for the first time tonight, as the senior starting quarterback Taylor Lamb makes his 46th consecutive start. He went over 2,000 passing yards for the season last week in the loss to Louisiana Monroe. He's also their 2nd leading rusher, but he wants to throw on the first play of the game offensively for App State. Now will take off, use those legs, and step out at about the 35 and picks up 6.
We talked about Lamb being an underrated runner. And they're showing you that he can run the football. We know what he's done throwing the football, over 82 touchdowns in the air during his career, and has a good chance of having over 10,000 yards for his college football career. That's efficiency at the quarterback position.
Talked about his football family. Taylor Lamb says, hey, someday I wouldn't mind being a coach myself. In motion goes Ike Lewis. App State without Jalen Moore tonight, so the handoff goes to Marcus Williams, and Williams will have a first down across the 40 to the 42, upended by linebacker Sean Freeman, and that's a 7-yard run for Williams.
And a nice job of blocking over on the right side of the line. Huge gap for Williams to get through the young freshman from Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Picks up the first down easily. They really like Marcus Williams.
But again, no Jalen Moore, last year's Sun Belt Conference Offensive Player of the Year. Did play last week, had a career high, a season high, I should say, 21 carries, but banged up and not in uniform tonight. Here's the carry straight ahead. This time Chris De La Rosa bringing down Williams for a gain of 2.
When we talk about Jalen Moore, you know, obviously an all-conference back a season ago in the Sun Belt Conference. This year, projected preseason all-conference as well. Talented runner that's got NFL potential, and be interesting to see how the Mountaineers can hold up without his presence on the field for another game.
And 2nd down, Lamb now throws to the near side, and there is a late flag. Hennigan got tangled up with Montquavion Brinson. I don't know if this was just incidental contact or what, but obviously the flag did come out here, Jay. But both receiver and defender went to the ground before the ball got there.
Holding. Defense number 5 on an helpless.
The holding call against Brinson.
When the flag comes out late, I mean, that's just, the legs got caught up. I didn't see a hold. Legs got caught up, and if it happens, incidental contact with the feet tripping each other up, that's not a penalty.
Datrick Harrington, number 19, now in his back, and he gets his carry. He's chased in the backfield, but he eludes a couple of tacklers and has a first down run, but a flag goes flying right where he stepped out at about the 33. Josh Moon, the safety, blitz and had him in the backfield, but couldn't get him. The gain goes for 13. We'll see if it holds for the freshman Harrington. Looks like it's coming back.
Holding. Offense, number 13. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay. First down.
That's on receiver Dante Jones.
Did you see Harrington finish off this run? Watch, he makes the first tackler miss. Here comes the safety right now. I'll meet you in the hole, homie. Have a seat. I'm still going. That's how you finish off a run.
Yeah, the run was impressive, but it comes back, and it's the first down at 17 from the 47 of App State. Motion again to the backfield, Levi Duffield, and it's a handoff once again. Harrington coming right side this time, but is tripped up right at midfield by De La Rosa, and a 3-yard gain.
The defensive line for Georgia Southern, that's probably one of the strengths of this team and what they want to do. They said, we know App State, they've got a zone read scheme. They like to use a lot of outside stretch, and the quarterback, Taylor Lamb, we have to get him off his spot. So they don't mind having Taylor Lamb run outside of the pocket. They just want to make sure he's not comfortable in the pocket, moving him off his spot.
Marcus Williams back in as the back, and he gets the carry straight ahead, but meets a wall as Marcio Reese, middle linebacker, plugged that hole. It is a gain of 2 to the 48.
One thing we know about Marcio Reese, he'll hit you. He's a hitter. A little bit too overly aggressive sometimes. He's got 2 ejections this season for targeting. And that's one of those things you say, well, do you want to take away his aggressive nature, or do you live with the penalties? And they've been able to live with him making nice knockout blows from his linebacker position.
You know, he talked with the defensive coordinator of Georgia Southern, So Constantini, and he said, hey, he's my best linebacker, and does not want to quell that energy.
And what do linebackers do? They hit
you. You got the playoff with 1 on the play clock. The pass batted down. That is an incomplete pass, and it looked like Deshaun Cooper, defensive end, got the hand in the air, number 41.
They're doing a good job getting some pressure. If you can't get to the quarterback, get those hands up. Good job of deflecting the pass, because there was an open Mountaineer receiver in the secondary, which would have picked up a first down and then some.
So App State picks up a couple of first downs, but the drive stalls. And Xavier Sabach, freshman out of Melbourne, Australia, will punt. Miles Campbell back, and the left-footed punter gets one off that's going to land at the 5 and roll into the end zone for the touchback. So it's going to come out to the 20 for Georgia Southern's second possession when we come back to Boone.
ESPN Thursday Night College Football, brought to you by Sam Adams. Fill your glass. And Esurance, auto and home insurance for the modern world.
It's a little chilly tonight, so hats, gloves, jackets, the order of the evening. This, by the way, is the only night game of the season here at Appalachian State.
How many feet above elevation?
3,333, so that's easy to remember. This is the highest elevation for any FBS team east of the Mississippi. Wyoming is the highest elevation, over 7,000 feet in Laramie.
That's just ridiculous.
He was snowing in Laramie last weekend for their football game. We're fortunate no fog here tonight. There was a lot of fog here at this time last night. Here's a handoff straight ahead for Ramsby. For a gain of 2, Anthony Flory brings him down. Georgia Southern looking for their first win. They have never had a winless season in their program history, which dates back to 1924. Now, they did not play football from 1942 to 1981. And they only played 1 game back in 1924. They won that game. We're looking for their first wins.
It all starts with the offense. You see where they rank 121st in all of FBS football And if you're going to be an option team, you have to get 3 yards per rush on first down. In consecutive drives, we've seen them start off with just a 2-yard run.
Fakes the handoff to Ransby. The option capped by Wirtz, and then he's wrapped up by Anthony Flory and Rashad Towns. And it's going to be 3rd and about 5.
Mark, help me out here. You do the option on the end man of the line of scrimmage. Should he pitch this football? Once you have him that close, the running back had leverage on the outside. Once he's that close to you, pitch it. He can't get to the running back. He would have had the edge. Freshman mistake.
That's the read for the quarterback right there, isn't it?
In-man line of scrimmage, and you want him to get close to you and then pitch it. And that was just a good job of forcing him to pitch the ball by Rashad Towns, number 31.
Georgia Southern did convert 1 first down on their first possession of the game, and now looking to convert a 3rd down and 5. Wirtz under pressure, going to run out, head towards the sideline, and gets upended. Where he comes down, he's really close to the line at the 30. Clifton Deck, a duck that is brought him down, and I think he got a pretty fortunate spot there. It will be a first down.
A favorable spot. They marked him down right on the 30-yard line. Let's see. Gets upended, comes down.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it. But you see a little display of the athleticism that Shy Wirtz can bring to the football game. Very tough to bring down in the open field.
We've had 17 plays combined in this game between the two teams. 15 running plays. Here's another running play straight ahead for Wesley Fields, who gets his first carry of the night and picks up 5. Fields, a really good experienced back, a junior, but he's trying to bounce back, Jay, from a couple of fumbles in the 4th quarter of their loss to Georgia State last week.
You know, that's what you need the junior to forget about that. Great runners, normally when you fumble the football, you run a little bit harder and you protect it a little bit more. Wesley Fields is, he along with Ramsey, they feel like they've got a solid running back core here.
Fields coming up on 1,700 career rushing yards. In motion was Fields, handed off. L.A. Ramsby finds a hole, and he gets upended at the 40, but has a first down. A.J. Howard stopped him for a gain of 6.
And that's where you see the experience of L.A. Ramsby. The initial hole wasn't there, but able to slide down the line of scrimmage and not only pick up positive yards, but pick up the first down as well.
L.A. Ramsby, his actual first name is Alfred. L.A. stands for Little Al. He's a junior. His dad, Alfred Sr., is Big Al. It's not that he's from your neck of the woods, Los Angeles, California. He's actually from Cincinnati, Ohio. This is Fields. He finds a nice crease across midfield and spun down at the 47-yard line of App State. Once again by A.J. Howard, and that's a 12-yard run.
Good recognition. We're starting to see the line of scrimmage go in favor of Georgia Tech. Take a look at these 2 kickout blocks here. Man on a man. Everybody get up to that next level. Look at the hole. Linebacker takes himself out of play in the big running play for the Eagles.
Puts Fields over 500 rushing yards for the season. Slung out into the flat, and this is a catch from Miles Campbell. Campbell, a guy who, despite being just 5 feet 6 inches tall, 165 pounds, Jay, he can be an explosive player of Georgia Southern.
They're one of those shifty type guys. You know, you see it all over college football. He's 5'6", 170 pounds. But he's a guy that in open space, he's got that quick twitch. And a lot of times the first tackler is not going to have the ability to bring him down.
Look at the bottom of your screen. That's DeAndre Glenn. He is 6 feet 6 inches tall. It'll be a handoff and a run straight ahead. And that's A.J. Howard with another tackle, but a gain of 5 for Fields.
And something you have to do here if you're Shy Wirtz. The last 2 snaps that he's gotten from Curtis Rainey have been high snaps. If you don't tell the center that you're missing the target, he doesn't know. He thinks he's doing a good job. And Curtis Rainey has not been the starting center. Last week was his first start at center, so I think he needs to communicate to him a little bit more in shotgun where those snaps are coming.
And that snapping consistency is an area of concern that their coaches were telling us about this week. Running right side and a first down. It's a nice run on the edge for Wesley Kennedy. First time he touches the ball. He's a true freshman out of Savannah, Georgia.
I mean, they're all young for Georgia Southern, right?
Yeah, only 8 seniors. So you're right.
I mean, just imagine that. 8 seniors.
That's the interim head coach, Chad Lunsford, who's now in his 3rd game. He and the head coach of App State, Scott Satterfield, have an interesting connection we'll get to in just a little bit here. Here's Wirtz looking like he's going to throw. Now he's going to run with it. He's got some open space here to the near side of the field. He's got some blocking as well. He's inside the 10, lowers his shoulder at the 5, lost the football. A flag flies at the end of that play. Tay Hayes eventually able to tackle Wirtz, but that's a 31-yard run. Let's see about the flag at the end. Flag came in right at the time of the tackle.
That's obviously going to be a big play because wherever the penalty was, Georgia Southern's still going to get good positive yardage. This may not be as close to the end zone.
Illegal blocking the back on the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Following the penalty still results in a first down.
I mean, you see the recognition here. They're trying to do a little sprint, move the pocket, but he's got the athleticism to cut against the grain, good downfield blocking. But towards the end of this, you're going to see that block there by Malik Henry, number 87.
Yeah, that was close. I'm looking at that in real time. So instead of having a first and goal from inside the 5, they do have a first down at the 17 of App State. What'd you think of that call? It's close.
It's very close. But you almost want to say to Malik Henry, why take the chance?
Yeah,
if you can't get a clean shot, don't do it.
Excellent point. Here's Fields in motion. There's the pitch to him. Fields running right. Very patient all the way inside the 10 down to the 9-yard line. Myquan Stout. He had the tackle. Eric Boggs had an opportunity near the line of scrimmage on him, but there's Stout, his 29th tackle of the year.
Stout coming from that nose tackle position, able to make a tackle downfield, but it was a great job of shiftiness on display by Wesley Fields to make the normally consistent Eric Boggs miss the tackle.
12th play of the drive, the 11th run, but this one is absolutely blown up once again by Myquan Stout with some help from Ocon Godwin.
Well, it all starts with controlling the line of scrimmage. You're going to see Myquan Stout, number 92, just swim block the center, locate the ball carrier in the backfield. That's just a great individual effort there by Myquan Stout, the junior from China Grove, North Carolina.
Not to be confused with China Grove, Texas, near San Antonio, which is the town named after the Doobie Brothers song.
That was really? Okay.
Yes. 3rd down and 5, and a timeout is called. And I'm sure somebody is checking up on my Doobie Brothers trivia as we speak. 3rd down coming up. Well, we have a great one for you Saturday on ABC when number 3 Notre Dame squares off against number 7 and undefeated Miami at Hard Rock Stadium at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific, and also streaming live on the ESPN app.
That's going to be a good one down there in Florida.
It'll be a great one. Now, Georgia Southern trying to draw first blood in this game with just 50 seconds left in the first quarter. A 3rd down and 5 from the 12 of App State. Here's Wirtz in trouble, and he's just going to throw it out of bounds and live for the field goal. Rashad Towns putting the pressure on Wirtz.
They did a pretty good job of sniffing out that play, but I thought he had a wide and a receiver that he could have driven the ball in there to a little bit short of the goal line, pick up the first down. Take a look close to the goal line. That second level throw, that's an open receiver right there. In college football by the pylon, you have to hit that guy that close.
Tyler Bass going to attempt a 29-yarder. Georgia Southern has not scored first in a game all season. In fact, they haven't scored first in any of their last 10 games. That streak comes to an end. They last scored first November 10th of last year against Louisiana Lafayette, and they take a 3-0 lead tonight.
4 teams, 2 games, 1 blockbuster night, baby! We got this at the Champions Classic.
College hoops season getting underway, and a chance to see the next college football playoff poll on Tuesday as well. After a 14-play, 68-yard drive, Georgia Southern leading 3-0.
One of the differences between an experienced football team and a youthful football team, the experienced football team comes away with that drive with a touchdown. The youthful football team settles for 3 points.
And that blocking in the back penalty on the run by Wirtz definitely affected them because they would have had a first and goal inside the 5 otherwise. have to settle for the field goal. Finnegan's going to take a knee. It'll come out to the 25 for the Mountaineers. And Appalachian State beaten last week by UL Monroe 52-45. Lost in overtime the week prior to that at UMass. So they've lost 2 in a row coming in to this game. They had not lost back-to-back games since 2014. I mean, this is kind of uncharted territory for this program for a while anyway.
Yeah, and Coach Satterfield wants to know how his team will respond. He said they played awful on every facet of the game last week, tried to put it behind them, but after 2 consecutive losses, trying to start another winning streak late in the season.
Was Marcus Williams on a first down run and a gain of about 8 before he's wrapped up by R.J. Murray.
Tell you what, this is a very athletic offensive line for Appalachian State. The Mountaineers offensive line, very agile. When they run a zone read or stretch play to the outside, they're covering a lot of ground. You have to really attack the gaps from the pad level angles or else they will hurt you.
Lamb puts it in the belly of Williams once again. He'll have the first down up to the 36. Tamarcio Reese coming up to make the tackle. Gain of 3. That's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. Now the only scoring, the Bass field goal for Georgia Southern of 29 yards at the end of 1 from Boone, North Carolina. The Eagles lead the Mountaineers 3-zip. There in the middle of the picture without the helmet is junior running back Jalen Moore, not playing tonight, has the jersey on but no pads, and he's dinged up. He's been their leading runner this year again after last year being the Sun Belt Conference Offensive Player of the Year, led the conference in rushing. So they're without Moore tonight, who happened to pick up his first career touchdown catch last week in the loss at Louisiana Monroe. So in his absence, more carries from Marcus Williams. He carries there. Gain of 6, tackled by Logan Hunt.
You know, we know that Jalen Moore, he can tote the rock. We saw that 1,400 yards a season ago, over 500 yards this season. But for Marcus Williams, the guy, they say he needs more experience, but he can do some of the same things that Jalen Moore can do. And this is one of those situations where you rise to the occasion. One guy goes down, your opportunity to step up as a redshirt freshman and show the coaches and the rest of the conference what you can do from the running back position.
App State player is down. That's Tamarcio Reese, the 33 middle linebacker. I talked with Zoe Constantini, the defensive coordinator for Georgia Southern, who calls Reese his best linebacker.
I mean, that's that run stop. They're going to need him to show up and hopefully get back in this football contest. I like what the defensive coordinator said about him. He said when he hits them, they go backwards. That lets you know he has some thump in those shoulder pads.
Second down and 4 on this, the second play of the second quarter. Lamb hands off again to Williams, running right. Gets across midfield and a first down up near the 45-yard line of Georgia Southern. Pushed out by Sean Freeman. You saw Joshua Moon, the safety, number 22, take a dive at him, but came up empty.
Yeah, he missed. This is Moon right here. Takes a poor angle to the football. Sniffs out this play, but because of the poor angle, you can't take that risk. It turned inside out and allows the running back to pick up big yards on the outside.
Yeah, 12-yard gain for Marcus Williams. First down, Mountaineers from the 45 of the Eagles. Right back to Williams. Cuts it back to the near side, but he runs right into the arms of Sean Freeman for 3 yards.
And I think we're starting to see what the game plan for Georgia Southern was. We asked, how do you stop such a good offensive line that really stretches the ball outside? They said, well, we have to create creases within their offensive line. And what they're doing is they're just stunting their line. So they're pretty much going to the field. So if they lined up on the left hash right now, I think you're going to see the defensive line stunt down to the bottom half of your screen, come to the right, and then they'll fill in the backside with a bunch of linebackers.
Well, App State has only attempted 1 pass so far tonight. Let's see what they do as they do trips at the top of the screen, but that diverts it for Williams. He's to the 40. A late flag comes in.
What I'm talking about in the pit, how they're doing it, you see they're playing to the field. To watch all these bodies here, they're going to come this way, and the linebackers are going to fill in on the backside. So you think there's a place to run. They want you to cut back into a headache. That's great job schematically.
Personal foul, illegal block below the waist, offense, number 87. 15 yards from the end of the run, replay, second down.
That's called on the tight end, Colin Reed. Guy who they like to go to in the passing game in the red zone, but all for the illegal block there, and that's going to bring it back to the App State 45-yard line.
On the prior drive they had in this football game, App State had a nice drive going, had a penalty in the drive, and that really stalled the drive. They were starting to build a little bit of momentum. Now they're looking at 2nd and 20, trying to prevent this drive from stalling.
3 receivers at the bottom of your screen. And another flag. Delay again.
5-yard penalty, still second down.
You know, Jay, we've seen this a couple of times this season. I don't think, we'll look at that last play first, but watch him come in late with that's the illegal block. He went right at the knees there of Vildor.
And that's a great job by the officials to catch that, because, I'm not a fan of cheap shots. The game of football is, can become violent enough. No room in that taking cheap shots at your opponent.
But what I was going to get to, Jay, I think some teams forget that the play clock gets set to 25 seconds after that. And once again, you got time here running down 5 seconds left. Get it off in time, and Lamb looking to throw across the middle and finds his man right in midfield. That's Ike Lewis with the catch. It's a 17-yard gain. Still going to leave him about 7 yards shy of the first down.
But that's attacking the defense. They want to play a cover 2 with a soft zone. And Ike Lewis, the senior wide receiver.
Big game last week, 3 touchdowns. First App State player with a 3-touchdown game since Brian Quick back in 2010. Of course, Quick's had a nice NFL career. The Rams and now the Redskins.
Third man's, but I still look for them to find a way to try and get the ball to Ike Lewis again. Middle of the field's open. If number 2 in the slot can find a crease.
And slot up top, Lewis.
Nope, not there. Because of the way they're stunting their defensive line, it's hard to get a beat on who you're going to pitch it off of. And the moment you decide you're going to run to the direction that they're slanting this defensive line, plays over with. Nowhere to go. Good job of running down the line of scrimmage by Logan Hunt, number 91, making a nice tackle on Taylor Lamb.
Loss of a yard, 4th down. So far in this game, I think the Georgia Southern defensive coordinator, Zoe Constantini, you got to give him credit right now. We'll see how App State adjusts.
When he told us what the plan was, everything sounds good on paper.
Yeah.
But they seem to be doing a great job of executing so far.
Campbell with a fair catch at the 10. 34-yard punt, no return. Georgia Southern with the 3-0 lead. What if that gentleman there on the phone's checking his apps? The ESPN app is a fan's best friend. You can stream every ESPN and ABC college football game live, at home, or on the go. And you'll get access to scores, news, and highlights all season long. If you haven't already, download the ESPN app and start streaming now. Georgia Southern starts at their own 10. Here's Wirtz. Just pick up a couple, tripped up for 2 yards by A.J. Howard. Shai Wirtz is a redshirt freshman quarterback. And there's Eric Boggs, one of the starting inside linebackers. That's down for App State. Guy who was 2nd team all-conference a year ago and making his 42nd consecutive start tonight. We talked about stability at the top of the telecast here, Jay, for App State. And he's one of those guys that's brought stability in the middle for them.
The leading tackler, but you want your middle linebacker to be on the inside. Over 74 tackles on the season, and they got him running sideways a little bit on that play there. That was an old school play there, right? That was like quarterback sweep left, and Boggs down on the ground and caused a concern for defensive coordinator Nate Woody and head coach Satterfield.
Up to his feet, he's kind of swinging that left shoulder around like he took something off the
in on the tackle and just over pursued. Probably has more to do. You see 45 get upended and trying to cushion the blow. Looks like that left arm might have gotten caught in an awkward position.
Marcus Godfrey is checked in at one of the back positions for Georgia Southern. Wirtz keeping. Right up the middle to the 15 for 3. It's tackle for Anthony Flory.
They're not afraid to run this quarterback, are they?
They are not. and I was just going to ask you about that, Jay. It almost at times looks like it's just a straight quarterback run, and he's not optioning at all.
Yeah, the previous play was a sweep left, and now they just come back with a quarterback draw. Wirtz has young, fresh legs, but you have to be concerned about how many hits that he puts on that body.
Georgia Southern converted 3 of 5 third downs in the first quarter, and you're on that jet sweep to Wesley Kennedy. Right up near the marker. It's going to be a little bit short with that spot. Just shy of the 20. It's going to be 4th down.
I like the run because initially the play wasn't there, but watch Kennedy change direction on one step. They've got to sift out one cut, get upfield in a hurry, and he almost picked up that first down.
And that jet sweep, as we just saw it executed there, is a forward pass. Had he fumbled that and it fallen to the ground, this would have been incomplete. But he came up just short, so they're going to punt. Clifton Duck back at the 35-yard line. That's the first 3 and out for either team. And you know the App State defense came in causing 41% 3 and outs from their opponents. Here's Duck getting the block. All the way up to the 45-yard line, and Rashad Bird on special teams makes the tackle. 47-yard punt and a 10-yard return for Duck. Here's our referee tonight, veteran Sun Belt official Kevin Stein. Before the game, he was presented with the National Association of Sports Officials Great Call Award. Earlier this season, Stein went out of his way to present an official game coin to 2-year-old App State fan James Wilson before the Wake Forest App State game here. Might have gone unnoticed, except James' grandfather, Brad Wilson, wrote a handwritten letter to the man on the right you just saw there, the Sun Belt Commissioner Carl Benson. Here is that letter, which I'll paraphrase. It was the grandfather, Brad Wilson, commending Kevin Stein for what may seem like a simple act, but involving a 2-year-old, James Wilson, who was attending his first collegiate football game. And to recognize that, Kevin Stein was awarded that Great Call Award tonight. And a nice job.
Good job by all people involved. Good job by referee Stein with the initial action. I really like Commissioner Benson rewarding the good deed.
Best starting field position for App State tonight from their own 44, and Lamb throws deep but high and incomplete at the 35 at Georgia Southern, looking for Thomas Hennigan. Coverage there by number 22, Josh Moon.
It had good time there, but really good coverage in the backfield by Joshua Moon. Give him credit for a good play. We called him out for a missed tackle earlier, but that was good one-on-one defense versus Thomas Hennigan.
Hennigan, who's been the leading receiver, at least catch-wise, he has 38 receptions on the year to lead App State. It was just the 3rd pass attempt tonight for App State. Keeping it on the ground and squirting through, and there goes Williams. And just as I was saying that, Kendall Vildor got him by the ankles just enough to stop him, but a 21-yard run.
Division. Watch the vision as he's weaving through, trying to find a hole. It's not there, gets up, gets small, leverages his shoulder pad level, and touchdown saving tackle by Kendall Vildor, number 20, the cornerback. Good job by the young freshman to have the patience and the vision to find the hole and the crease in the defense.
21-yard gain, the longest gain from scrimmage tonight for App State, and once again squirted through to pick up about 5 up to the 30. Moon and Freeman helping out on the tackle of Williams that time.
And you start to get the feeling that maybe, just maybe, Appalachian State offensive line has made an adjustment to the defensive line that's stunting from Georgia Southern. Offensive coordinator Sean Clark, who handles the running game, told the guys just get a little bit more forward lean. If they want to go sideways, just wash them down.
The field, the tight end motions in to the backfield. Once again, Williams got hit hard by Joshua Moon.
To the 23-yard line.
That's a 7-yard gain.
You want to see how you run a stretch? It's all about timing, everybody being on the same page. Watch how in sync everybody is as they come down this way. They don't care what they're doing now with the wash. They're all moving at once. They're moving 1,000 pounds, over 1,000 pounds of men, all moving in the same direction in sync. That's how you get positive yards.
App State has 89 yards of total offense, 80 coming from Williams. But here's a pass attempt, and all alone touchdown, Colin Reed. His 7th catch of the season, but his 4th touchdown catch, a 23-yard TD, and App State's on the board.
Well, they set it up nicely. Think it's play action going to the right, but Taylor Lamb looks and knows he's going to have a wide open tight end. And Colin Reed, just his 7th catch of the season, but that's his 4th touchdown on the year.
Well, App State started with their best starting field position of the night from the 44, and it takes them only 5 plays to go 56 yards in a minute 44. And the extra point for Chandler Staten makes it 7-3 as Colin Reed, you talk about efficient, 4 TD catches on the year. Catch number 7 overall, and App State takes the lead. Fourth touchdown catch of the season for Colin Reed. Jay, how did he find himself so wide open in the end zone?
Well, it was a sucker play. In order to run a sucker play, somebody has to be the sucker. And in this case here, it was Sean Freeman. Watch Freeman's eyes. Look where he's looking as we run this play. He's looking in the backfield. He's looking in the backfield. He's looking in the backfield. Oh, no. I just let a receiver go behind me. Good job of executing. They brought him from the other side. They caught Sean Freeman peeking in the backfield just a little bit too long and made him pay.
A returnable kick from the 10 from Miles Campbell. Campbell hits the 20 near the sideline at the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
Campbell on the return.
Coming up Saturday on ESPN, 2 big games with college football playoff implications. Florida State, number 4 Clemson at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. And then it's second-ranked Alabama. It sounds funny to say second-ranked Alabama, but taking on number 16 Mississippi State in Starkville at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Both games streamed live on the ESPN app. I think Nick Saban, though, is happy as punch that his team's number 2. That's ammunition, right?
I mean, at this point, you just want to win the top 4, right?
Yeah, that's all that matters. Here's L.A. Ramsby with the carry for about 4 to the 31. Oh, man, that's an obvious flag on Anthony Flory, who after the play pushed down a Georgia Southern player right in front of everybody.
Following the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 44, 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic, first down.
And he's out of the game.
And you know, obviously, you know, something was said, but it doesn't matter. You can't, that's not even anything being said. He just thought that he stayed on him a little too long, and the official was right there. You got to keep your cool about it.
That's going to take it all the way just across the 45-yard line at Georgia Southern. A first down for the Eagles. A little bit of a high snap. Wirtz going to keep it. Twisted down just shy of midfield. Picks up close to 5. A tackle for Eric Boggs, who's back in the game after I think he tweaked the shoulder earlier.
I'm still trying to find the identity for the Georgia Southern option. You know, we know they take a lot of pride in running the option. That's what they do, and they've done it for years. But it's like a spread option. Like they don't feel strong enough to run a pure triple option underneath the center. They're trying to come up with a lot of creative formations to do it, but it all starts with winning the battles at the line of scrimmage. And I just don't see that push from these young Eagles.
And off Fields. Not much there at about the 49 of App State for a gain of 2. You know, and that's going to be the question, and we can address this as the night goes on. Of course, the interim head coach is Chad Lunsford, who's been told by the administration at Georgia Southern they'll have an opportunity to take over the head job, but obviously they're going to open it up. And the big question is going to be, hey, do you get a coach that's a triple option coach, or do you go a different direction? And I think that the administration's still figuring that out.
And Willie Fritz had to win him over. He ran option, but it wasn't the traditional Georgia Southern option that Tracy Ham made so famous.
Wirtz once again keeps it. Anthony Flory back in the game after that personal foul moments ago, and he makes the tackle there.
You know, just who are you going to run the option off of? And they just can't do it right now. And it's because they're so young that they don't get a lot of push off the line of scrimmage. I mean, where's he to go? They've got it sniffed out. 3 black jerseys right there on the ball, almost like they knew the play was coming.
Well, after the Flory personal foul penalty pushed Georgia Southern up near midfield. The drive stalls and they'll punt. Clifton Duck back to receive the punt. He's going to watch that bounce, grab it, and hit the deck. 39-yard punt with no return. It's App State ball when we come back to Boone, North Carolina.
ESPN Thursday Night College Football, brought to you by American Standard and Allstate, official protector of college football fans.
Look at some of the impressive memorabilia and hardware here at Appalachian State. They won 3 FCS national championships back in 05, 06, and 07. And now I've been FBS since 2014 and won the last couple of Camellia Bowls. Take over at their own 13-yard line and hand off to Marcus Williams, who's had a busy night. But after he was hit initially right at the line of scrimmage, he squeaks a 4-yard gain out of that. Raymond Johnson brought him down, but Josh Moon had a chance to get him right at the line of scrimmage.
And we've seen Moon, who's the free safety for Georgia Southern, number 22. They're bringing him close to the line of scrimmage. He's a free safety, so he's going to have an opportunity to make an impact in this game. And right now, we've seen him make a good play, but we've also seen him make 2 poor plays, particularly in run defense.
Here's Lamb. He's going to keep it. And the quarterback, who is their second number 2 leading rusher on the team behind Jalen Moore. A first down run there. Gain of 10.
Yeah, and I really like the ball handling skills by Taylor Lamb. Does a good job of selling this read. Comes down, realizes the pitch isn't there, makes a quick decision, gets downfield in a hurry for the first down. And what do we say in the open? Very underrated runner. You get fascinated by his football IQ and all the throws that he can make, but then you don't realize that he sneaks up and rushes for almost 40 yards a game.
It almost looks like he could run a triple option if you asked him to. Not that App State is asking that. The option here, though, and Malik Williams is slung down at the 25 by Lane Ecton for a loss.
Something I think that makes Lamb special, we go all over the country and we see son of a coach. But when you're the son of a college football coach and you've got that type of coaching tree in your lineage, not too many things he hasn't seen on the football field or at least in the classroom.
And Bobby, big influence, as you can imagine. Lamb's going to throw, and that's batted down. That is a incomplete pass. That's Deshaun Cooper. That was going to be real close to being a backwards pass, but incomplete.
Let's take a look. Set up.
Yeah, that was going to be a forward pass.
Yeah.
Not that you could review that anyway. 3rd down and 13.
Look at the middle of the field, wide open. You have to get somebody down the seam.
Lamb looking in that direction. You ask, you shall receive. But Malik Williams is a few yards shy of the first down. Let's see, with that spot, he's just going to be maybe about a half-yard shy.
Look at this. You got to get to the sweet spot right there in the middle of the field. Cover 2, if you're going to make it that obvious to a quarterback like Taylor Lamb, he's just going to wait till somebody sooner or later is going to get to the middle of the field.
Well, they looked at it for a while. Now they say, well, I think they're going to finally have to measure this thing. We're going to call a
timeout. The ruling on the field is a completed catch for first down. Previous play is under further review.
They were moving the chains and they kind of looked at it like, okay, is it short? Is it not? And then they said first down and then decided to stop it and have the official review here. So let's take a look at the play again.
I think they want to have to make sure it's a catch as well. Does a good job of going down to get it. And
I don't know.
Yeah, that may not be a catch, but they called the catch, so they're enough to overturn it. And I thought it was a question about the spot in terms of where they spotted the football. Looks like they might have given them an extra yard on that as well.
You know, Jay, my gut feeling is the ground helped him with the catch, and it should be incomplete, but there's nothing that we've seen on the video that's compelling enough to overturn the call on the field.
And I agree with you on that one. I think, you know, the way I look at it is you have to show me something where I know 100% that the ground was involved in the play. And there he's holding on to it. And you can speculate a lot because it's an awkward angle that he's trying to hold the football. But I don't know if you see enough there to say that he did not catch that football 100% certainty.
Yeah, there's not indisputable video evidence, in our opinions, to overturn the call on the field, though. I think our gut feeling is that it was not a clean catch.
But, you know, I'm a man.
So let's flip to the other side of this. It's a catch. What about the spot now?
Yeah, I think they can take a look at that to make sure that they place the ball on the right yard line. Right now they've got the ball about the 37-yard line. So let's see.
Get a nice view from up top.
Comes back.
Yeah, I think he's short, isn't he?
It seems like he's on the 36-yard line. The ball's on the 36-yard line. His knees may be on the 37, and they've got the ball spot on 37.
After further review, the ruling on the field of completed catch stands. However, the receiver is at the 36.5-yard line. It'll be 4.5 yards at the 36.5.
So it will be 4th down as he comes up just short.
And that's good use for the replay. I mean, you know, as long as they get it right to the best you can, because they put so much effort into this on the field. And I think with that video review, that extra half yard is going to force Appalachian State to punt the ball back to Georgia Southern.
Well, let's face it, if they just
they're going to go
blow that off, they're going to.
Wow.
They are going to go for it. Wow. You talk about an aggressive call, or perhaps try to draw them off sides here. We'll see. They have been successful on 4th down, converting 6 of 11 for 55%.
Yeah, I don't see why you go for it in this situation here.
And they're going for it.
No.
And Williams.
No.
Looks like he was stopped short. Let's see about the spot. And if he didn't get it, you talk about a big turn of events here for Georgia Southern.
And that's why I think you don't go for it. If Georgia Southern is able to stop them short, a team that was pretty much flat, now they got some momentum. Now there's a lot of energy over on that sideline, and you're giving the ball back to your offense in great field position.
And an excited interim head coach Chad Lunsford's team.
I mean, good job shooting the gap and getting behind the line of scrimmage by Monquavion Brinson, number 4. Able to just force the running back to leave his feet. And he's short. That's good run-stopping defense by Georgia Southern.
Jay, you know, I thought maybe they're just going to try to draw him off sides. And then you think about Williams, the night he's having. Prior to that run attempt, he'd been averaging 6 yards per carry. But how can you gamble in your own end like that?
Yeah, and back in, you know, your own field position. So now let's see if Georgia Southern can do something with this great field position.
Wirtz on the option with Fields. He keeps it. You know, there have been a lot of times tonight that I thought Wirtz should have pitched the ball where he has kept. Was that another example of that?
Now, I've been trying to stretch it out, but that's a good job of T-Sim, number 42. And they talk about it. He's a defensive lineman that's quick enough to change directions. So what you have to do is get closer to him. Make him commit 100% to tackling the quarterback and give it to the running back.
So that lost the yards, 2nd down and 11. Wirtz looking to throw, comes to the near side, a long throw, and that's incomplete for Malik Henry right along the sideline. Tried to keep a foot in, but could not as he had to lean out of bounds to make the catch. 3rd down.
He tries to deaden those feet in bounds.
Well, he caught the ball, but he didn't have the foot down, as he had to lean far out of bounds to come up with it. That's Henry up at the top of the screen. Campbell's in the slot up top. "6'4" Mark Mashad, the receiver, at the bottom of the screen. And a flag at the snap. Actually, just a whistle.
Second charge timeout of the half. Georgia Southern, 30-second timeout.
So the Eagles will use their second timeout of this first half. Now the Sun Belt Conference, Arkansas State is the lone unbeaten after App State was beaten last week. Troy and Georgia State all 4-1. The important thing as we look with a couple weeks left in the regular season here, Jay, is who App State does not play the rest of the way.
They do not play Arkansas State. They do not play Troy. So Appalachian State has an opportunity to make a good run in Sun Belt play. But I think when you look at the overall standing, the surprise team of the Sun Belt this year,
Georgia State.
Georgia State.
Yeah, and that's who App State will play next week in Atlanta. And then they finish up with Louisiana.
Now what you have to realize here, if your shot works right now, it's an obvious pass situation, but I believe it's 2 down territory.
Absolutely.
If you pick up 6 or 7 yards on this play and you can have a 4th and short, they'll probably go for it, but you can't afford to take the sack, and you must protect the football.
And another stoppage in play, and this one is a flag pre-snap.
False start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Let's see. Here they're going to get right here on the top of your screen. Coming in there. That's the tight end, Ross Alexander. Next to him was Tommy Boynton, number 77. They called it on 46, but it was actually on the left tackle, Tommy Boynton.
Well, makes it a 3rd down and 16. Wirtz with time to step up and throw, and throws a strike. Did he hang on, though? No, he did not. Malik Henry had enough for the first down, but could not corral it.
And how to get so open. They dropped everybody deep, but a good job by Henry, but he did not gear down in the zone. He ran through the zone instead of gearing down in the soft spot of the zone, taking his momentum with him, not able to make the catch.
So you like the throw from Wirtz there?
That was a good throw. He threw it to the right spot, kept it away from the linebacker.
Matt Flynn to punt. Thomas Hennigan back to receive the punt this time for Appalachian State. Trying to pin him in, but it's going to land at the 1 and bounce into the end zone for another touchback. Second one of those tonight. Well, coming up Friday on ESPN, the 6th annual Armed Forces Classic honoring America's heroes. Number 25 Texas A&M takes on Bob Huggins' number 11 West Virginia Mountaineers at Ramstein Air Base in Germany, which was the site of the inaugural Armed Forces Classic back in 2012. At 6 o'clock Eastern on Friday. Tomorrow on ESPN. College hoops also available streaming on the ESPN app. Well, the Fun Belt tonight is actually the Run Belt. How about that?
But anytime you get Georgia Southern involved in the game, you think there's going to be a lot of rushing. But Appalachian State's doing a good job running the football.
Well, Georgia Southern could not take advantage of the turnover on downs on the previous possession for App State in their own territory. But good defense there. Rashad Byrd and Logan Hunt, no gain. Logan Hunt's been their big guy up front. The nose tackle came in with 9 tackles for loss and 4 sacks to lead their team. Under a minute to go in this first half. Williams taken down at the 21 by Ty Phillips. And App State has the look, Jay, that they're going to be content taking the 4-point lead into the locker room. Coming up at the intermission at the half, we'll check in with the studio and Adnan Vert. Update on Heismanology, the FBS rankings, as well as the FCS top 10, all coming up at the intermission.
You forget something.
Oh, there's this thing called Give Me 5.
Thank you, Mark Neal.
Well, we take care of that here. They are going to have to snap it. And it's going to be a run for Lamb. And he's got a lot of space across midfield. Well, with 3 seconds left, stop the clock to move the chains. There's a Georgia Southern player down after a 44-yard run from Lamb. Darrell Baker, cornerback, is the player down for the Eagles.
I mean, nobody pays attention to the quarterback. Just a quarterback draw, and Lamb showing enough athleticism and foot speed to become a threat to almost take that to the end zone. And now these last 3 seconds just got interesting.
Yeah, well, what do you... And that's Darrell Baker, the redshirt freshman, being attended to. Turn him over on his back here, but do you take a shot for the end zone? You look at the 2 place kickers for App State. Staten's long as 40 yards. Came a couple weeks ago at UMass. Michael Rubino as long as a 46-yarder at Texas State this year. And it would be a 52-yard attempt from here.
Kick it. Why not?
This is the time to do that at the end of the half, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, see if he's got the leg to do it. Give it a shot. It'll be the last play of the half. You were ready to go into halftime up by 4 points anyway. You get an opportunity to take it up to a 7-point lead. I think you kick it and go for it. Tell him, hit it flush.
Good to see Baker get off under his own power, and that indeed is what they're going to do. They're going to attempt, it's going to be close to a 53-yarder here for Chandler Staten. It was 3 for 3 in field goal attempts this year, the long of 40 at UMass. This will be a 53-yard attempt. It's lined up pretty much middle of the field. Out of the hole to Riley Critcher, and before the snap, Georgia Southern will use their last timeout to try to ice Chandler Staten on a night when it's 41 degrees right now, so you can't quite technically ice him, but it's close.
And just a redshirt freshman, so make him think about it a little bit. Yeah, so how did you get to this point, though? I mean, Appalachian State was basically conceding that, okay, we'll go to locker room 7-3, and they give up a long quarterback run right up the middle of the field. And what happens is a good team makes you pay for making a mistake like that. It seems like right now the Mountaineers will do their best to make the Eagles pay for it by adding 3 points before the half.
It was a 44-yard run for Taylor Lamb, who came in second on the team in rushing yards, averaging about 41 yards per game. So he bettered his game average with that one run. So here's Staten to attempt the 53-yarder to try to make it a 7-point game at the intermission. Remember, they're kicking from 3,333 feet, some elevation.
Plenty of leg.
Got the distance and got it! A career best for the redshirt freshman Chandler Staten of 53 yards. And indeed, the Mountaineers take a 7-point lead to the break and are up 10-3.
Well, what do? You just tell him, I need you to go there and kick it flush. And he got all of it. Plenty of elevation, plenty of leg. Freshman pump. 53-yard field goals from freshman kickers nowadays. Nice glue.
Adnan Burke coming up in the studio after the break. Georgia Southern got out to the 3-0 lead, but 10 unanswered for App State, including the 53-yard field goal from State to finish off the first half. 10-3 Mountaineers in Boone. Seafood in the mountains of North Carolina? Absolutely. Order me up some. 10-3 App State leading Georgia Southern as we're about ready to start the second half. Along with Jay Walker, I'm Mark Neely. And Jay, this is where I love to get 5 from you about Appalachian State football.
We're going to do that, but first you got to check out a Hall of Fame release.
Oh, yes. Congratulations to my partner, Jay Walker. It was officially announced today.
Yes.
Former quarterback from Howard University. Today, MEAC Hall of Famer. Congratulations, partner.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Really humble and honored, but that was a Hall of Fame release, so that I used to throw that thing.
That was nice. Why don't you give me a Hall of Fame? Give me 5, man, because now the pressure's on when you're a Hall of Famer.
I'm doing the work, so we travel around the country, and I want people to see what it's all about, more than just what you see on the field. So how about this? Give me 5 things you have to know about App State football. Dexter Coakley played linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys. We know that. But before he was here at App State, two-time winner of the Buck Buchanan Award. That's given to the FCS or 1AA Defensive Player of the Year. He was a guy that really helped start this Mountaineer powerhouse program. Jerry Moore.
Great head coach.
Great head coach. Fantastic job. He built the program, well respected around here. And number 3, Armani Edwards, the quarterback that made it all happen. Two-time winner of the Walter Payton Award. And you and I both know the Walter Payton Award goes to the FCS 1AA Player of the Year. That's the Heisman Trophy on FCS level football. Armani Edwards was a special kid.
And still playing pro football. He's in the CFL, not as a quarterback, but as a wide receiver.
That shows you how athletic he was and was able to make that transition to wide receiver.
How about number 2 on your list?
They won 3 FCS championships.
Back to back, baby.
They did it. They did the 3-peat consecutive years. Before everybody talked about North Dakota State with their run, it was Appalachian State winning 3 consecutive FCS championships that really put them on the map. And we knew what a powerhouse they were on the FCS level. But I think number 1, establish how good this football team was.
Yeah, which September 1, 2007, a date which will live in Michigan infamy.
College football.
Yeah, that was unbelievable win for them.
September 1, 2007, they know the date in stone here. The biggest upset in the history of college football, I still think that stands, as they went into the big house. Armani Edwards right there, and they knocked off, was it 5th ranked University of Michigan to start off the college football season. Very
highly ranked, and App State head coach Jerry Moore back on September 1st of 07.
And you got to go it on the bubble.
Yep.
I love the name of this place, The Rock.
Kid Brewer Stadium, also known as The Rock.
And they tell you that. Welcome to The Rock. And what's the elevation?
3,333 feet.
So
highest elevation in FBS east of the Mississippi.
And a good football team, they don't lose. So those are the 5 things you have to know about App State football.
And on a night where the Winter Jackets are out in sock caps, fortunately it's not breezy or foggy, which would make conditions a lot harsher. So a manageable night tonight with the temperature right now starting to dip into the high 30s. The only night game of the season here at Kid Brewer Stadium, The Rock, and it's their first Thursday night game here on ESPNU in a couple of years. Well, it's a 7-point lead here at the intermission as we're about ready to start the second half, but in that first half, let's take a look at some of these key plays and find a wide open Colin Reed.
Yeah, with the misdirection to Colin. And this one right here kind of could be a key play down the road. What happens? 10 seconds to go before the half. Taylor Lamb burst up the middle. They don't keep an eye on him. And then the freshman kicker boots it in from 53 yards out to end the first half.
And Chandler State with that 53-yarder after Georgia Southern had kicked a 29-yard field goal to begin the scoring to take the lead in a football game, to score first, that is, in a game for the first time all year. But they'll have to kick it away to App State here to start half number 2. Ike Lewis back to receive this kick. Look at the first half numbers. Tyler Bass kicking off for Georgia Southern, and off we go into half number 2 from Boone, North Carolina. He takes a knee. It'll come out to the 25.
Well, one of the things of note, when the end of the first quarter, Georgia Southern controlled the ball for 10 and a half minutes, and App State only had it for about 3.5 minutes. But by the time we got to halftime, App State was leading the time of possession. So Georgia Southern's got to figure out a way to get the ball back from App State and try and get this offense jump-started.
And only 6 pass attempts so far from Taylor Lamb, who's averaging 29 per game. So we'll see if they throw a little more in the second half, and they come out throwing on first down. And the pass complete to Hennigan. And Hennigan coming to the near side near midfield, eludes a tackler. He's into Georgia Southern territory, down the sideline before he's pushed out of bounds at the 25 by Chris De La Rosa. And on the first play of the second half, it is a 50-yard pass play to Hennigan.
Yeah, simple pass route, just a curl route that everybody throws. But look at the time in the pocket to go through his reads. He finds Hennigan, and then Hennigan, great job running, sees some daylight to the outside. 6'2", 210-pound freshman, makes a guy miss, runs big, finishes off the play. Huge play for the Mountaineers to start off the second half.
Hitting an average is 45 yards receiving per game. That's his first catch of the night, and it went officially for 51 yards.
It'll increase the average a little bit.
Yeah, that'll do that in a hurry. A play like that. Handoff and a run for Marcus Williams. Marcus in that first half, 16 carries for 85 yards.
And I thought Williams was very capable in the first half. He showed some flashes. You know, we mentioned earlier Jalen Moore, their all-conference running back, one of the best runners in the country, not dressed tonight. And Williams, the freshman, done a good job in picking it up.
So Williams go to the sideline. So Daetrick Harrington, the freshman, is in, and here is the carry for the true freshman, and cuts it back inside the 20 down to the 17. De La Rosa and Bird combined on the tackle to stop him for a 2-yard gain. Third down coming up. Third down at 3. Fakes the handoff. Lamb throwing. Low throw at 10. And they're going to say that is a completed pass to Dante Jones. Enough for the first down at the 9. 8-yard gain.
Yeah, get up to the line, get that snap in a hurry. I'm not so sure he caught that. Pretty inaccurate throw from Lamb. Ball just comes out very low.
Yeah, it's similar to the one we saw in the first half. Well, they get the snap off, so it's a moot point now. Going towards the end zone, some fighting going on there, and Vildor had the coverage on Virgil. No flag, incomplete.
They're trying to get the matchup with Virgil, goes 6'2".
See Vildor doing some jawing there. You know, Vildor is a guy that they have really high expectations for at that field corner spot. Just a sophomore. Defensive coordinator Zoe Constantini said, "Hey, he's got NFL ability someday." That.
Yeah, they like both their cornerbacks, Brinson as well as Vildor, both just sophomores. So if you look at a strong suit for Georgia Southern defensively, it's in the secondary of the cornerbacks.
Williams back in the game, got a decent head of steam, but he stopped at the 7. Rashad Bird limits him to a 2-yard gain.
And that's what you have to do. You have to be around the football, and give credit to Joshua Moon in there mixing it up again from his free safety position. And I think because of the talent that Georgia Southern has in the secondary, that we're seeing a different approach to this football game from Appalachian State offensively. They're like, we're just going to run it. We're going to make Joshua Moon hit somebody. And he needs to be around the line of scrimmage.
3rd and goal from the 7. App State on the first possession of the second half. Malik Williams motions out of the backfield. And the play clock was winding down.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
And I think App State thought they had the timeout called. The way head coach Scott Satterfield is reacting on the sideline, they thought they had the timeout called in time, but that's going to cost them 5 yards.
And that'll probably want to happen, but they have to realize now that clock is running, so he needs to get the play over from the sideline, hurry up and get to the line of scrimmage. We're sure going to be facing another delay game. One thing I saw that last snap, they didn't have anybody over Ike Lewis, number 2, the most dangerous receiver. He's in the slot right there. He can make one cut, get to the middle, and that could be trouble.
3rd and goal from the 12. They get it off with 2 seconds, and it's kept by Lamb. Only picks up a couple to the 10. Brought down by Raymond Johnson, and they're going to settle for the field goal attempt. Well, Chandler State hit a 53-yarder to end the first half, a career best. So to begin this second half, this will be a much more manageable 27-yard attempt. And he's now 5 for 5 in field goal attempts on the season. He's hit from 53 and now from 27. And App State has opened up a 10-point lead. 13-3 Mountaineers. App State head coach Scott Satterfield on the right, there on the left. In his third game as the interim head coach for Georgia Southern, Chad Lunsford. These two are friends because Lunsford was the tight end coach on the App State staff back in 2001 and 2002. And Lunsford and his wife lived in Scott Satterfield's basement during Lunsford's time here. So you get to know somebody pretty well when they're living in your basement.
Clean up the room. Can you talk about clean up your room? But the life of an assistant coach.
And they were both very young assistants. This is going to be brought out by Campbell from the goal line. He's to the 15, angling towards the 20, 25. And this is what he can do in space. And then that space finally collapses across the 35. And a nice 36-yard return from Miles Campbell. You know, Jay, we hear about how much coaches in FBS, not so much in the Sun Belt, but around different conferences make. There they are, having a chance to catch up pregame. And we talked to Coach Satterfield. He said, you know, I was probably making $7,000 a year at that time. So folks, think about that when you hear about all these big-time salaries at the bigger schools. I mean, a lot of coaches are making very little money, especially when they start their career.
Yeah, particularly, you know, the assistant coaches at the FCS Division II, Division III level. It's definitely
loose football. And Georgia Southern, pardon me, Jay, did jump on top of that. They are fortunate they did not turn it over. That's number 77, the left tackle Tommy Boynton, and Mark Machad was also there.
And this is just L.A. Ramsey. Not a clean exchange between the quarterback and Ramsey. See, puts it in there a little bit high. Ramsey doesn't secure it. The Eagles are very fortunate to get the possession of the football.
Here coming towards the near side. Wirtz upended and flips forward to the 41-yard line. Took a look at the first half drives for Georgia Southern. Picked up that field goal on their second possession to take a 3-0 lead with 4 punts.
And it goes back to that. We talked about them being the youngest team in FBS football. I said it at the time. Any other team, that would have been a touchdown scoring drive. They had to settle for a field goal when they had opportunities to score.
Trying to extend this drive, a 3rd down and 6. Their first possession of the half, nearly turned it over on the first play of this drive. Neither team has turned the ball over yet tonight. Wirtz throws at a first down catch at midfield, and a nice run after the catch by Malik Henry. First down Eagles, tackle for Clifton Duck, but it's a gain of 16.
Yeah, nice double slant combination called by them. You're going to see the slot receiver run a slant, and then you're going to see Henry on the outside run a secondary slant behind it. Easy read, nice throw, efficient play by Georgia Southern.
Wirtz now 4 for 7 through the air tonight for 34 yards after the 16-yard completion. Here's the pitch, running left, Wesley Kennedy. He picks up a gain of about 6 on first down.
Well, and that's what they want to be able to do. If you can pick up that type of yardage running the football on the ground, then you become an efficient option offense. But the key with option offense is always first down. You have to pick up 3 to 4 yards every time you run the ball.
Running Ramsby straight ahead, and looks like he'll have a first down. Really close to it at the 34. Might be a hair short, but we've seen this earlier tonight where they gave a first down. They're not going to do that here. He is a little short, but it is a 3rd and 1. Maybe about the length of the football.
No surprise they go shotgun formation here.
And tumbling forward, Ramsby didn't get much, didn't need much.
I don't think he got it.
If he's short, are they at a spot in the field here, Jay, where they're going to go for it anyway?
Yeah, but you wonder. I can understand you go shotgun if your quarterback's never under center, but we've seen Wirtz under center several times in this football game. Ramsey stumbles a little bit, and I think that's a good spot. He's short the first down, bringing up this crucial 4th down.
So after no gain, Ramsby comes out. It is 4th and short, less than a yard. Fields is the back, but once again, Wirtz hands off. Fields, though, will get the first down this time, though first contact came behind the line of scrimmage. Ocon Godwin with the tackle, but they'll move the chains and convert on 4th down for the 13th time this year.
Yeah, that was a very difficult half yard to come up with. Great job by Wesley Fields readjusting in the backfield, but able to pick it up. Now that you're starting to get a little momentum, now I think you go play action pass because you've established the run. And Appalachian State starting to crowd the line of scrimmage, give you man-to-man coverage on the outside. Be a good opportunity to hit them with play action.
Quarterback draw, not done much there for Wirtz, maybe 2.
Shy Wirtz on the carry. 53-yard line.
The redshirt freshman Shy Wirtz. Look at the career FBS games played. Wirtz at 7, and look at the rest of what they have there. There's not a lot of experience. Not a game experience. High snap. Wirtz comes down with it, tosses to Fields, and was he down? I don't guess not. He advances inside the 30. Eric Boggs with a tackle at the 28. He got hit twice behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, this is a great job by Fields. Knee does not go down. Good job of having that awareness, and he really turned a nothing play into something.
Had he gone down where they initially hit him, it would have been about a 3rd and 8 instead of 3rd and 4. Fields trying to look, just driving forward, but he's wrapped up around the waist by Rashad Towns, and will get just 1. Going to bring up a 4th down, about 3.
And now decision time. Do you take the points in this situation? And the way they've struggled to get yards in short yardage situations, I don't think it's a bad idea if they're going to go for this field goal attempt.
Tyler Bass connected from 29 yards in the first quarter. This would be a 44-yard attempt off the left hash out of the hold of Matt Flynn. And a line drive spinning and got it through. So Bass has a couple of field goals tonight for the Eagles points, who make it a 7-point game.
ESPN Thursday Night College Football, brought to you by Crest, healthy, beautiful smiles for life. And Bass Pro Shops, your adventure starts here.
Got a good game going here tonight at The Rock in Boone, North Carolina at App State. We'll have a great one for you Saturday as well on ABC. It's when number 3 Notre Dame is going to take on number 7 and unbeaten Miami. Who you got in that game?
Got a good game.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you know, something about the U and that smoke, you know, but
is the magic?
I've heard Notre Dame is really good, though.
Yeah.
You know, from what you're saying, they've been pretty good. Only losses to Georgia this year.
You know, this weekend in general is going to go a long way in trying to shuffling things out for this college football playoff.
Imagine University of Miami and Brian Kaya had stayed in school. Undefeated now, and if Kaya's back, I mean, they'd have been loaded.
That's just one of a lot of great games. As I mentioned, it's Saturday, ABC, number 3 Notre Dame, number 7 and unbeaten Miami from Hard Rock Stadium, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. It'll also stream live on the ESPN app. Everybody talks about this is the most important one of these games in a long time, but they've had a pretty good rivalry through the years. Notre Dame has won the last 4 meetings, but remember when Miami was the U, baby.
Yeah, I mean, that was, I think in the 90s, that was college football. You know, late 80s, early 90s, that was the rivalry. Glad they renewed it.
Lamb thrown on the move, just gets rid of it. Did take a pretty good lick from Deshaun Cooper.
Yeah,
But a clean one.
It hasn't. I don't know if that's clean. I thought there was a late hit there because he took him to the ground. And it flushes him out of the pocket. Lamb's will get rid of it. Now look, inbounds, he gets him, leaves his feet.
What do you think?
I thought he should have.
I'm having some Aaron Rodgers visions there.
Yeah.
And there was controversy of whether that was a dirty play or not. Yeah.
Wow, look at that. Appalachian State 22 yards per completion, but they continue to run the ball and run it well.
And Marcus Williams has been the primary reason they have run it well. And he has a first down all the way up to the 43. 18-yard run brought down by R.J. Murray.
Well, we're seeing Marcus Williams with the vision again. He's got the patience to find the hole. That, like this little dip move at the end, finish off the run. Something that they do very well here at App State.
Marcus Williams has gone over 100 yards rushing now after that 18-yard gallop. 19 carries for him for 107 yards. He's averaging about 5.5 yards per carry. Gives it again to Williams. Well, he is carrying the load tonight with Jalen Moore on the sideline, unable to play. Dinged up.
And I'm sure it's been a pleasant surprise the way they've been able to really run the football versus Georgia Southern. One thing that Appalachian State likes to pride themselves on, balance with their attack. They can run the ball, they can throw the ball. But in this case here, Taylor Lamb's done a good job of just managing the running game.
Williams off right tackle to the edge, and where he steps out will be about a yard and a half from the first down.
We've noticed them having success running the ball to the right side of that line, and that's where the experience comes in on this offensive line with big number 70, Colby Gossett, 50, Bo Nunn. They're both 4-year starters on the right side of that line for Appalachian State, and they've been finding some holes here in the second half.
Mentioned Gossett at starting right guard, making his 43rd consecutive start tonight. First team all-conference guy. This time stopped
short
for a loss of 2.
See, they went back to the stunt on the defensive line towards the field. In that case there, they guessed right and able to get a tackle for a loss.
It's Harrington, the freshman, who got the carry. Of course, Moore's been the number 1 back. Terrence Upshaw, their number 2 back, tore a tricep. He's out for the season. So Harrington, the freshman, gets some carries tonight with Moore out. It's Campbell back to receive this punt at his own 10. Xavier Sabach.
Fake.
And it's going to be the first down and more inside the 30. That's Fuller. Caleb Fuller on the fake punt, and App State pulls it off successfully. They'll have a first down inside the 30 of Georgia Southern.
We've seen them struggle locating the football all night. This is the up man right here. He's going to get it, just find a crease this way, but look at the vision. Look at the helmet. Who's looking for the football? Nobody's looking for the football in the backfield again, and Appalachian State makes them pay again.
Well, Fuller ran that 23 yards for the first down. As that play gets going, a whistle stop it.
First charge timeout of the half, Georgia Southern.
So it's the Eagles that use the timeout, and we'll step aside as well with just over a minute left in this third quarter.
Big game buzz in South Florida. An old rivalry reawakens.
There's so much to play for. It feels like an elimination game.
Can't wait for that one. Can't wait for a lot of great games coming up this weekend. But here on a Thursday night in Boone, North Carolina, we've got a good game in the Sun Belt. App State leading Georgia Southern 13-6. And the Mountaineers, Harrington, freshman, rushes it all the way to the 20, about 3 shy of the first down. 8-yard gain.
You know, you just wonder how much more fight do the boys from Statesboro have in them. When a team gets that fake punt on you, takes a lot of momentum from you. The defense been on the field for a while. And I think right now, Coach Lunsford has to ask that defense, dig deep for us one more time. Try and make a big play.
Lamb hands off again to Harrington, and he's hit hard right at the line of scrimmage by Ty Phillips, number 96, and that'll be a loss of a yard. 8 tackles for loss this year for Phillips. Let's see if App State's going to run a play or let the time run out. They're going to let it run out here in the third quarter. So the teams trade field goals in the third quarter for the only scoring. We'll head to the fourth quarter in Boone, North Carolina, and a 7-point game. We indeed salute our veterans and those currently serving, men and women in our armed forces, as we observe Veterans Day this weekend. We jump into the fourth quarter here in Boone. Here's a shot towards the end zone. Lewis, touchdown. Ike Lewis, 3 touchdown catches a week ago against Louisiana Monroe. And he picks up his first of the night and 7th of the season. 20-yard touchdown.
They just took advantage of the speed there. They had Lewis lined up in the slot with safety help over the top, but what a nice, pretty throw from Taylor Lamb. Hits him in stride. And that Sean Freeman has had a pretty tough night here, pretty tough evening, giving up another touchdown.
83rd career touchdown pass for Taylor Lamb, so he continues to increase his Sun Belt Conference record in that department. 81 had been the record, but he broke that last week. 9 plays, 75 yards in just under 4.5 minutes, and it's 20-6 App State. Coming up Saturday on ESPN, 2 big games with college football playoff implications. We'll have Florida State at number 4 Clemson, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. And then second-ranked Alabama taking on number 16 Mississippi State at Starkville at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Both games will also stream live on the ESPN app. The bald eagle's name is Freedom.
Freedom.
Georgia's Southern mascot here tonight. We've had a chance to see Freedom up close. That was a couple of years ago. And it's an imposing bird. In fact, just calling it a bird just doesn't do it justice. It's a bald eagle, baby. You know, that's part of the reason our country's so great. You know, our symbol's the bald eagle, man. The bald eagle's bad, baby.
You ever seen one in the wild?
I have, and it's awesome to watch it.
Yeah, we have a lot of them up in Maryland where I live, so off the Potomac.
Miles Campbell will return this from the 1. Georgia Southern looking for a spark. Maybe they can get it from Campbell, and a pretty good return all the way out to the 31-yard line.
You know what you need to see right now from Georgia Southern? Because I've been down there a little bit, like I did at Gimme 5 for App State.
You want to see some play-action passing?
No, I want to see some Gata.
Okay.
Remember that?
And more attitude than play calling.
Yeah. That GATA, which they love down there. Gata. Get after them aggressively, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I know what that second A stands for.
That's what they want to see right now. You know, if you're going to be an option football team, you're supposed to beat up on folks. I just don't see him beating up on them, and I think that's that edge that Coach Lunsford is trying to get these guys to understand. We're Georgia Southern.
Somebody might have gone the wrong way. Wirtz tackle for loss by Demetrius Taylor. He looked to pitch that ball, and there was nobody there. Loss of 5.
I mean, you can't have guys just miss the block on the reach block. And that was Drew Wilson, the right tackle. And he tried to get the down block and missed it. Quarterback lost, tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
That's not GATA Gata.
That's getting Gata.
Yeah. Wirtz looking towards the sideline as the play clock runs under 5. And he's going to fire, and it's out of reach of Obi Fortune. Like that DeAndre Glenn, but nonetheless incomplete. It's 3rd and 15.
Yeah, you don't want to throw over on that side. That's where Clifton Duck, quarterback number 4 for Appalachian State, that's where he hangs out. He was a Sun Belt Rookie of the Year a season ago. Just a sophomore, all-conference Sun Belt player.
Yeah, first team, the only freshman on the conference all first team.
Yep.
He's a special player.
Be careful throwing the ball in his neighborhood.
3rd and long, 3rd and 15. The line to gain is their own 41. Wirtz looking left, and now time running out. He is sacked back at the 18 by T. Sims. Their sack leader gets his first of the night. It gives him 9.5 on the season.
Around here, they're used to having that end that can really get at the quarterback. It used to be Ronald Blair for so many years. And T. Sims, 6'3", 265 pounds, just said he's powerful and quick. And right there, he showed you the speed to get around Tommy Boyden for the sack.
A couple of weeks ago, Sims had 3 sacks in the game at UMass. He had 1 last week at Louisiana Monroe. Gets his first of the night tonight. So the last 5 possessions for Georgia Southern's offense, 4 3-and-outs, and they come after this punt. He gets it away, and Duck the fair catch at the 43. So Taylor Lamb and the App State offense will come back out on the field. And what kind of day have we seen, or what kind of night from Taylor Lamb?
You know, one where he just had to manage the running game, made a couple big throws when called upon, but it was really the ability to get out of the pocket, extend the plays. You know, he's not going to hurt him. You know, had to come close to throwing an interception, but then started to heat up a little bit, the 2 touchdown strikes, and it was that big run at the end of the first half, the 44-yard run up the middle that really kind of took most of the momentum away from Georgia Southern.
Saw the passing yards, 6 for 11 now. This is going to be a throw from Malik Williams, and incomplete. Malik Williams threw a TD pass to Thomas Hennigan against New Mexico State, a 27-yard TD earlier in the season, so they thought they'd let the freshman try the play there.
Well, the freshman should have thrown an interception. R.J. Murray comes off of his receiver. He's in space. This ball hangs in the air. Tight end doesn't even see him coming. But R.J. Murray not able to make the play, and Appalachian State got away with one there.
Dante Jones was a quarterback, or I should say Malik Williams was his junior and senior year in high school at Chester High School in South Carolina. 3-yard gain. Cooper makes the tackle for Marcus Williams.
And this is what you asked earlier about Taylor Lamb, the type of night he's had. It's been these situations here. 3rd and 7, able to recognize the type of pass coverage he's seen in the secondary. If the offensive line gives him some time, more times than not, he's going to go the right place with the football.
Let's see where he goes on 3rd down and 7 of his own 47. Lamb flushed out, throws near side. Incomplete. Jalen Virgil, but a flag is out. Brinson had the coverage. Flag.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense, number 11. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic. First down.
Well, instead of punting, they'll have a first down thanks to the personal foul on linebacker Todd Bradley.
Let's take a look. Gets rid of it.
Yeah, that's not 11. That's 41 to Sean Cooper.
Yeah. Now, what was the harder hit? That little push right there, the one we saw earlier that they didn't call?
Well, the earlier one was.
Yeah. A little makeup call.
So they have a first down now at the 38 at Georgia Southern, and coming here near side, Liam wraps up Marcus Williams. Gain of 3.
And I'm noticing such a difference when the Mountaineers run the ball to the right side compared to the left side. Just the guys on the right side are just getting it done. Gossett, Nunn. Every time they run the ball right, they pick up positive yards. Not so much the case on the little bit less experienced side, left side of the line. So I continue this situation. Force feed the run to the right.
Just about a yard. Speaking of running right, let's look at our play calling trends tonight, Jay.
Yeah, see if I know what I'm talking about. Here, going to the right side, able to get outside, make somebody miss. That's what kind of set it up. There it is. Look at the huge hole. Right side run. They've had success. Once again, get to the right. They can see the vision. The big plays have come when they run the ball behind the right side of the offensive line.
Bo Nunn, the right tackle, last year's second-team All-Conference. Right guard Colby Gossett, first-team All-Conference a year ago. On the left side, you do have Victor Johnson, who made the all-newcomer team a year ago. But as you said, the experience is on that right side. It shows. Going to come to the near side and tried to feather it over the top, but off the hands of Marcus Williams and incomplete.
When I talked to Coach Satterfield, we were talking, and it's been a transition. They've gone from FCS to FBS. So, he and I, we're both some 1AA guys, some FCS guys. I said, what do you like better, the bowl game or the national championship, the playoffs? And he said, the bowl game was sweet. And then he thought about it. He said, I said, you forgot how magnified everything is in the playoffs. And he said, thinking about that one, I don't know which one I like best.
Charge timeout of the half, Georgia Southern.
Well,
this will be a 30-second timeout.
On this fourth down, Georgia Southern elects to use a timeout.
And if you think about, we're talking about, when these programs were 1AA FCS, between these two programs, 9 national championships.
Wow. We mentioned the back-to-back for App State, 2005, 6, and 7. But prior to that was the Georgia Southern success when they won 6 FCS national titles, 85, 86, 89, and 90. And then again in 99 and 2000.
But how about that?
Yeah, they'll be bowl eligible tonight, App State, with a win. They moved to FBS in 2014, but it's that rule that I don't quite understand with the NCAA why you're not bowl eligible that first year, but they weren't, which is kind of status quo. That's the rule. I don't understand it. They were in 15 and 16, and they made the committee bowl, won them each year, and win tonight. They'll be bowl eligible. Really a perfect 3 for 3 as an FBS team. Take a shot.
Got him again.
And it'll be a first and goal from the 5 after the catch by Ike Lewis.
And who did he beat? Who did he beat? He's having a tough night tonight. Sean Freeman. They said they were going to give him help over the top on Ike Lewis, and you'll see him just right here in the slot. This is just one move and go. And Ike Lewis is just saying, I'm faster than you. You can't catch me. And Sean Freeman, who's a safety, they're asking him to cover him one-on-one, and Ike Lewis has made the big plays that they've needed.
30-yard gain, so it's first and goal App State. From inside the 5. Williams. R.J. Murray stops him for no gain, and maybe a loss of a yard there. That ball came out. Murray came up with it, but he was down.
Back to the 5. Second down.
Let's make sure. Let's take another peek. See if that Williams was down.
Closer than you thought, but I think that backside was down on the ground.
Georgia Southern is challenging the ruling of the field that the ball was out prior to the runner being down. Previous play is under further review.
And you can't blame Georgia Southern at this point of the game when you're down 20-6 with under 10 minutes left in the fourth. Why not? Take a shot here. Take a roll of the dice, and maybe we'll see an angle that shows something different than what we saw from that last one.
I mean, it was close, and he's going down.
I think he's down from that angle.
Yeah. And not necessarily the knee, but it's the backside.
Exactly.
So here,
yeah,
this should be a
his
good
rear
one
end's going to hit first, and I think he's down.
Yeah, I think that call on the field should stand.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll confirm it, but it should, as you say, Jay, at least stand from our replay official.
He's going down. Tell you what, that thing is close.
Yeah, it is really close.
The more you slow it down and see it, it's.
Is there enough to overturn this? Is there indisputable video evidence? I don't think we've seen that yet, have we?
Not yet. And vice versa. If they had called it a fumble on the field, then I don't think there'd be enough to say that it wasn't a fumble. So I think the call on the field should stand. A lot of folks in Statesboro, Georgia, hoping they can catch a break. They haven't been able to get one this evening.
Marcus Williams has had a busy night tonight. 25 carries, 122 yards. You know, he came into this game with 265 total.
The ruling of the runner down prior to the fumble stands. Georgia Southern is charged their third and final timeout of the half. They have no more challenges for the remainder of the game.
Well, I know Chad Lunsford shaking his head there, but it was worth the roll of the dice, but it came out as we anticipated. The call stands.
Yeah, very close, but they took a chance, and, you know, why not? Down by 14 on the road. And the team's knocking on the doorstep from increasing their lead.
So the Mountaineers keep possession with a 2nd and goal from the 5. Lamb rolling out, looking, and just overthrows Reed. With the flag after the play, did he get hit again late?
There's another one of those little push shoves.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 92, contact to the head of the quarterback. Half the distance to the goal, automatic. First down.
It's on Raymond Johnson, true freshman defensive end.
Their best defensive end, they were saying. And you see as the ball's released. Calling it tight down there. They're calling it a little tight.
Got his jersey ripped. Lamb will hand off. This is the freshman, and Harrington is in for the touchdown. His first career touchdown for Dietrich Harrington.
Just get that push. Right side of the line. Saw number 70, Colby Gossett, the right guard, winning this one-on-one matchup. A little Bo Nunn with the wedge and into the end zone for the score.
And the point after up and through to make this a 27-6 game.
Up once again, give it to the big fellas on the right. Follow the entourage. Mountaineers extend their lead.
ESPN Thursday Night College Football, brought to you by Sam Adams. Fill your glass.
I like the bling. It's not gaudy. And there's a little bit of that because it's supposed to be a little gaudy when you win a championship, but it's not like over the top stuff. That's well done, Julie.
Classy.
Yeah,
it was classy. But I think, you know, if I win a championship, I might have a little bit more bling. I think championship ring should be gaudy.
Well, and it's also kind of a sign of
if I won a national championship, you'd think I was Liberace walking around here with that big fat ride, as big as shiny as I can get it.
You have to learn to play piano, but keep that in mind. App State has now scored on 5 of their last 6 possessions. Miles Campbell can down that, but elects not to. And it'll be stopped at about the 14-yard line. Well, this Georgia Southern team looking for their first win of the season. They run that triple option. They're not the only team. Kennesaw State, that's the Citadel in South Carolina. Georgia Southern, of course, Georgia Tech. Paul Johnson with his ties to Georgia Southern. Run at least a version of the triple option, all of them.
Yeah, but it's spread. You know, now they've got this spread zone read option, but these are some of the schools that actually run a legit triple option. I think a triple option team starts with the dive. You know, I don't call the zone read, all the stuff you're seeing now. That's not an option. Triple option, this formation you see right now, from Georgia Southern starts with that dive, and then you go to the outside perimeter.
Long count from Shai Wertz this time. He will pitch it. This is a carry for DeMarcus Godfrey. Gain of 3.
Man, did you see the play from T. Sims? You're talking about changing directions. This is the defensive end. Well, he's 270 pounds. I mean, look at the speed that he turned on. Chased the ball, carried down the line of scrimmage. Man.
Showed why he's an all-conference performer there.
Yeah, he can play.
So 9 minutes to go in this fourth quarter, and it's second down and 7 for the Eagles. Wirtz wanted to throw, but now will take off and will run all the way up to the 25. Should have the first down.
Now, we're talking about the triple option. So, you know, Oklahoma, when they were running the option, what did they call their offense?
Wishbone.
When Georgia Southern was winning national championships, what did they call their option?
Georgia Southern's wishbone.
Come on, man.
Triple option.
No, the ham bone.
Oh, the ham bone. Well, yeah, the deviation.
You know the ham bone?
Okay, I got you, yeah.
Why they call the ham bone? Tracy Ham, the quarterback.
Oh, of course, yeah. I'm sorry. One of the legendary.
It was the ham bone.
Well, I'm going to have to show up for rehearsal one of these times, man. Can't forget the name Tracy Ham. Here's a throw incomplete. That pass came from Kennedy for Malik Henry. So trying to get something going offensively. All right, Hambone. Tracy Ham back 82-86. We ran into him there a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be around campus, works there now. And, you know, he got the first of those 2 titles that they had for Georgia Southern down at the Eagles and went on to play in the Canadian Football League forever. It's like Tracy's older than me and probably retired from playing football 6 months ago. He was up there for a long time.
Wirtz, low throw, but Henry, I think he scooped it up cleanly. Lift and duck on the coverage. You know, if you're going to mention the ham bone, how about Adrian Peterson, Georgia Southern? The other AD.
The other Adrian Peterson, Peyton Award winner, running back extraordinaire.
Quarterback Jason Foster. Georgia Southern, a lot of great players. Their history. Looking to convert a 3rd down and 4. Here comes pressure. Wirtz in trouble, and he's sacked. Back at the 24, Rashad Towns gets to him. That's the 3rd sack of the game for the App State defense. 5th of the year for Towns.
They just brought the blitz there, trying to confuse him. They're going to bring 7, and you can't outrun 7 guys coming. So they've got more than you can block. You have to get rid of that football, trying to outrun away from everybody. Easy tackle off that blitz.
Matt Flynn on to punt for Georgia Southern. His 5th punt of the night. Set up a return here for Duck, but a high punt. And Duck makes the fair catch at the 38. And for Flynn, a 37-yard punt without a return with under 7 minutes to go here in Boone. Our next top-ranked boxing event comes to you Saturday from Fresno, California. We'll have co-main events. Artur Beterbiev battles Enrico Quelling for Andre Ward's vacated IBF light heavyweight belt. And then Jose Carlos Ramirez in line for a WBO and WBC junior welterweight title bout. But he has to beat Mike Reed first. 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Mark, you know I'm a boxing guy.
You are indeed. You enjoy the pugilism.
Yeah, I do, man. Andre Ward retired on me, man. But let you know how intense it can be, the training and all that. He had a fantastic career boxing.
But hey, if you know I got nothing left, the passion's gone, why not step aside?
Go out on top.
27-6, App State leading Georgia Southern. App State with a win tonight would get win number 6. It would make them 5-1 in conference in this 2-game losing streak. And they'd be bowl eligible for the 3rd year. Harrington has a touchdown run tonight, and he gets wrapped up just short of midfield. Looked like he was about to bust a really big one, but R.J. Murray Brought him down, but there is a Georgia Southern player down. Darius Sapp. Actually, let's see here. It's Ty Phillips.
He's working it out. Big Ty, Sapp, those guys have been active on that inside.
Decided to sit back down and let the training staff take a look.
And I just wonder, what the mindset must be for these guys from Georgia, from Georgia Southern. I mean, think about it. They came in and had a great year when they entered the Sun Belt, and for this team to be winless. I mean, you're talking about a class of guys that had great success their first 2 years in the Sun Belt Conference. What do they have to do to get it going again? We know they're young, but imagine for these seniors that they have on the team, they've seen the good, the great, the bad, the ugly, the so-so. And I'm sure that a lot of questions need to be answered down in Statesboro, Georgia.
It'll be interesting to see how the search goes, because whoever is hired to be the full-time head coach will tell you a lot about how the administration wants to see that program going, at least offensively. Here's a run inside. Acted tackles Harrington. There are 5 jobs open right now. The interim head coach Chad Lunsford has been told by the administration he is a candidate, but look at the others. Florida, Ole Miss, Oregon State, and Utah are all open as well.
Well, obviously those top 3, those are high-profile jobs right there. Then when it comes down a little bit level, non-Big 5 conferences.
But what I mentioned about whoever the hire is, if it's a triple option guy, because there's such a portion of the fan base who wants to see the triple option continue. Is that the best thing for the program, though? I think going forward, boy, Dante Jones did not want to go down there. De La Rosa finally with the tackle, but it is a first down inside the 40. Harrington there with the run, and with what we've seen from the true freshman tonight, he's taking advantage of the opportunities.
They've got some young horses back there, so Jalen Moore not able to play, but Marcus Williams and Harrington, they've carried the load tonight. And so, and I think, going back to that option discussion, they won 6 national championships running that triple option. And then the question was, well, when you move up to FBS football, can you run the option? I mean, how many teams we saw, little graphic teams in the South run the option?
It's mainly a service academies deal, and Georgia Tech, of course, with the connection of Paul Johnson, who really got that going at Georgia Southern for his career.
And so, I think the question, and we saw them have success, with the option in the Sun Belt during the Willie Fritz era.
Yes.
There wasn't, the traditional Georgia Southern option.
I mean, you had Matt Breida. Kevin Ellison did a nice job as a quarterback in that system. If it's your program and it's your call, I hate to put you on the spot here, Jay. Do you say, okay, you got to stick with the triple option if you're Georgia Southern? Or do you just say, I'm going to take the best coach possible, whatever offense he wants to run, we'll run?
I'm not going to go out and get a guy that's going to say he's going to throw the football all over the field.
Okay.
So maybe you go with a guy that's going to do a ball control offense with some option elements to it. But I think there's nothing wrong with, option football can be successful, and they've done it well down there. And, and that's what the fans want. At the end of the day, it's about the student athletes and the fans, and they've got such a proud tradition. I think they'll find a spread option type guy.
From what you told me there, all I know is that Mike Leach is not a good candidate for that position.
No, it wouldn't work.
This is a run for Marcus Williams up near the 30-yard line. Well, Georgia Southern will have 2 more tries. I should say 3 more tries to pick up that win. They got South Alabama, Louisiana, and Coastal Carolina. And Coastal in their first year of the Sun Belt. That'll be their final game.
And Coastal's got 1 victory already this season. They got off the winless streak. tell you, that's very competitive Sun Belt Conference. Covered Idaho a couple weeks ago with Linehan. They can throw the ball and beat you. And then Arkansas State's rolling at the top right now, undefeated in conference play.
Williams short of the first down. It'll be 4th and 2. Let's look at the top of the conference. Arkansas State still the lone unbeaten, but again, we mentioned App State does not play Arkansas State or Troy. They do play Georgia State next weekend.
Yep.
They'll be in Atlanta.
They're the surprising team there.
Actually, not next weekend. They have an off week, but a week from this weekend. Williams, by the way, now has hit a career high with 128 rushing yards tonight. Marcus Williams. And they'll go forward on 4th and 2 with the clock running under 2 minutes to go. Harrington. And he's going to be stopped short by Lane Ecton. And for the second time tonight, App State will turn it over on downs.
Eagles will take over first and 10.
The 1:35 to go here in Boone, North Carolina. Georgia Southern, a field goal to begin the scoring tonight. First time they have scored first in a game all season. But they trail at 27-6 as we step aside with 1:35 to go. Coming up on Sports Center tonight at midnight Eastern time is a cause for concern in Seattle, and about that Notre Dame-Miami game. Dan Le Batard will join the show, and SVP on the Rockets' fast start. All that coming up on Sports Center tonight with SVP at midnight Eastern. Cato Brown comes in as the quarterback for the first time tonight for Georgia Southern, and Brown will take off running. And out of all that running, picks up close to 10 yards. Tackled by Demetrius Taylor.
Now this is tough. You always want to play. You put me in with 1:35 and it's like 35 degrees outside.
That's the Southern California guy coming out in you, the temperature comment.
And he gets tackled on the very first play on the hard turf. But Brown's a guy who played junior college football out in California, so they say he's got experience, but only 4 games he's played at this level of football.
Yeah, so plays in his 5th game.
You tease me about being from California. Where's Brown from? He's from Ventura.
Ventura, yeah.
That's on the beach. That's on the coastline.
That's on the way to Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara, Oxnard, there you go.
Yeah. Well, the SoCal native will fire and incomplete for Malik Henry. Threw him his fastball there. Malik probably got to come up with that one.
Well, we've seen that a couple times tonight where they just don't know when to sit down in the zone. They keep drifting across the zone. And that's a hard target for the quarterback to hit when you're kind of sliding instead of just staying stationary.
Maybe it is 68.
3rd down and 10. Clock stop with 1:03 to go. Brown rolling out, takes a look, throws to the sideline, and that is a good catch for Malik Henry. He comes up with that one, enough for the first down.
He likes this catch. We saw him try one early in the game and keeps those feet inbound, secures the football. That's how you do it. That's NFL style. You only need 1 in college, but it appeared as if he got 2 inbounds.
The completion for Brown. 10th completion of the season. Came in 9 for 18. Brown going to run again with a tackle made at the 43, but a flag's laying back in midfield. Once again, our referee tonight, Kevin Stein. Offsides on the defense.
Offside. Defense, number 53. 5-yard penalty. Still first down. The clock will start on the snap.
Let's take a look at what to watch for, brought to you by Taco Bell. Here is the Saturday slate of ranked teams on ESPN.
So right now, if you're a Big Ten football fan, are you pulling for Wisconsin? Because that seems to be
that's your only shot to get in the college football playoff. Here's Brown dumping it across the middle to Fields. Stopped at the 41, just a yard short of the first down. We'll see how it plays out. If Wisconsin wins out and wins the Big Ten championship game, are they in for sure? Don't you have to take a Big Ten undefeated team?
Undefeated
That'd
Big
be hard
Ten.
to
I think so.
pass to the sideline. And out of bounds there is DeAndre Glenn, his first catch of the night. Well, eyes on the Sun Belt regular season. Of course, you have App State trying to, once again, at least share. They shared the title a year ago. Look at the schedules ahead. Arkansas State, and Troy.
That's the game.
Yeah, that's going to be huge.
That is going to be the game. There'll be a lot riding on that game there. And obviously, Troy, the signature win for the conference when they went on the road and took over LSU's homecoming.
Miles Campbell with the catch and a first down. Final seconds, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who do you think is going to at least get a share of this Sun Belt when it's all said and done?
I saw Troy in person and was very impressed with them. They got a quarterback that can throw it. Silvers.
Yeah.
A lot of leadership. So I can see Troy possibly winning that Sun Belt, knocking off Arkansas State. But where's that game played? Arkansas State. I should have paid attention. I don't know where they're playing at, but
I think
that makes a
Offside.
difference.
Defense, number 45. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Another offsides against App State. Just 12 seconds to go. The game is at Arkansas State. Troy and Arkansas State.
Oh.
It'd be tough to go to Jonesboro.
It's tough to go to Jonesboro.
You may change your tune here.
I might.
Here's Brown eluding pressure. Fires it wide, and look out. Taking out the ad sign is Mark Machad. So just 4 seconds left, and you would anticipate this being the final play of the game. Georgia Southern's going to drop to 0-9 overall, 0-5 in conference.
Man.
And App State will be bowl eligible, 6-4 and 5-1 in conference play, and in that modest 2-game losing streak.
Still just doesn't sound right saying Georgia Southern 0-9.
Dump off underneath. Fields brought down at the 10, and that's going to do it. Appalachian State wins it tonight over Georgia Southern, 27-6. And they're bowl eligible for the 3rd consecutive year. They won the last 2 Camellia Bowls in Montgomery, Alabama.
I don't know if they want to go to Montgomery this time around. Maybe they got their eyes set on New Orleans.
Absolutely, why not? And Georgia Southern still looking for win number 1. Fun night tonight at Boone in this chilly air in the mountains. And Lamb and App State win at 27-6 over Georgia Southern. That's going to take care of things from The Rock in Boone, North Carolina. For Jay Walker and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Mark Neely. Thanks for sharing this one with us. App State bowl eligible for the 3rd straight year. Good night from Boone, North Carolina.